All right, so this back to basics is a little different than what we've done before. It's a little more interactive. And it's not so much about modeling as it is about the NMRA itself, some of the organizational structure. So I think everybody in here knows there's NMRA national, then there are regions, and then there are divisions. So here's the question. And nobody on the Division 8 board can answer this. Barbara may not answer this. Bob Dawson may not answer this because they've heard me talk about it over the last 3, 4, 5 years. So how many regions are there in the NMRA? Anybody? How many divisions are there in the NMRA? See, there's actually two answers here. You could say active or total number because there are a couple of inactive ones. Interesting. All right. So the governing document that we use on a day-to-day basis to run the organization is called the CPPM, Corporate Policies and Procedures Manual. There's also a Program Policies Procedures Manual, which is called the PPPM. So when you guys ask me a question, it's like, let me see what the CPPM means. That means I'm going into basically what we would call our bylaws. Okay, they're not exactly, but it's pretty much, it's the organizational handbook of how we do things. It tells us how we run the organization. It tells us how the organization is set up and so forth. This one is last updated May of 2025. Now, if you go online, you'll find the older one for reference, but this is out there also. So just if you look and say, Fred said it was May of 2025, this one says like 2019, that's because you found the old one. Go look for the new one. It's out there. There's the org chart of the organization. Probably no one in here has looked at it except that I've forced it down the throats of our local board just because I've been talking about it. Yeah, how about that? What do you see up at the top? Board of directors. How many directors are there at the national level? Interesting.
So one for every region?
No, there are 9 directors. Okay, there are 9 directors. Now it gets even snarkier here in a minute. There are 3 in the US, Central, East, and West. Okay, the West guy is pretty much west of the Mississippi. The other 2 divide the rest of the country, plus Minnesota and Iowa, into Central and East. It is divided not by region, not by state, not by region, but by state. And it's based on population. So the population is about even in thirds because there aren't as many people in the Western US. That's why there's 2 of them divide kind of the Eastern US. So does anybody know the names of any of those directors? Bruce knows one of them. Anybody else?
Yeah. Well,
that's right. Central director's right here. That's right. That's right. So this is how they're actually divided out. A little map there, okay? Kind of show you Western District, and you can kind of see Hawaii down here too. Kind of got your binoculars on, you can kind of see it. But Western District is most of that, and then you can see Central includes Minnesota, Iowa, and then the Eastern guy is out there. And kind of sort of. We're talking about dividing it up differently. There are also 3 international directors. Australasia, Australia, New Zealand, and all that Asian stuff. Okay. So everything out there in Japan, Korea, and so forth. Canada is pretty easy. Canada. And then, yeah, it's not the Canadian, it's the Canada district. Okay. And then the Atlantic district. The Atlantic district is interesting. Okay. The Atlantic district is not just the UK and Europe, it's Africa and most of South America as well. Okay. And well, yeah, kind of, sort of. Then we have 2 at-large directors, and doesn't mean that they're bigger, but their territory that they are elected from is bigger. So at-large North America, so that's everybody, basically the US, Canada, you could say Mexico and so forth. We have 1 member in Mexico. Okay. And then at-large worldwide is everybody in the NMRA votes for that one. Got it? Oh, and 1 more. The RAC, R-A-C, the Region Advisory Council. You don't vote for the RAC director. All these others you vote for. You don't vote for the RAC director. The RAC director is elected by the region presidents. So they nominate and elect within. And this person is primarily a conduit between the directors and the executive, which would be the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and the region presidents. Okay, so he's that, or she is that conduit. Previously, well, until today is his last meeting, starting at about 3 o'clock today. Bob Weinheimer's terming out at the beginning of the national convention, and his replacement, Jeff Herman, has actually been on board since January and really helping out Bob with a lot of the meetings. And Jeff's pretty much running the meeting today. Okay? So kind of interesting to know. Those are the districts or the areas that vote for the different directors. So you can see Canada, even though it says Canadian on this map, which is wrong, and then the three U.S. West, Central, East. Atlantic District, I told you what that was, and then the Pacific District is out there. What's that big gray area? Yeah, Russia and China. Yeah, they elected not to, I guess so. And there's some other little bits and pieces here as well. So it's kind of interesting to know how that works, right?
Weird though, the China that.
Oh, is that Craig?
Isn't that ironic? They make all our models.
Yeah.
I know. All right, are you ready? But wait, there's more. There are 17 regions. There used to be 18 regions, but the Europeans decided they would let the Brits do all of their administrative work at the region level. So there's only 17 now. Okay. So in the US, those are the ones, and you can read what they are there. And who are we? Mid-Central, absolutely. Those are the US/Canada. Wait a minute, US/Canada? Yes. The Northeast, Northern Niagara Frontier, Pacific Northwest, and the Thunder Lakes region are US and Canadian, both.
How's that work with the directors?
How's it work with the directors?
Yeah.
The directors are nominated by, or excuse me, elected by people in those states or within that area. So if we go back a slide or two, back to, going the wrong way. Back to here,
Yeah,
the Canadians elect the Canada director. So if someone lives in the Thunder Lakes region, but they're a Canadian, they don't vote for the Central District director, they vote for the Canada director.
I guess that makes sense to somebody.
You know what? This was designed a long time ago, and Mike, it took me almost 2 years to figure this out. Okay. I'm not sure I still understand it completely. Okay, so US, Canada, and oh my goodness. Oh, but wait. And then we have the international, which is Australia and called Britain, but it includes all of Europe as well. Whew, my goodness. Man, well, they know. All right, moving right along. There's another look at how it's divided out there. How many officers? 4 officers. What you would expect: president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. The president, vice president are elected. The secretary and treasurer are appointed. What's the term limit on a director? 2 3-year terms. What's the term limit on the vice president? Same. What's the term limit on the president of the NMRA?
I think there is.
There isn't one. Gordy, president for life, right?
No, I don't think anybody wants it.
No. Mrs. Gordy's already said, ain't happening, buddy. And I've been told that this is my last term as anything on the national board coming up. All right, so you look down on the bottom here, the people who really do the work in all this organization, the ones who really get the stuff done, are down here at the bottom. 10 plus departments. There are more than that, but that's just a quick look. So at the bottom, you can see 10, but I listed out all these are all departments within the national organization. And there are volunteers working at every single one of those. That's a lot of stuff being done at that level. Okay. Some of the directors are in some of those committees. None of the directors really lead any of those. For example, I'm part of the education committee. Okay. That online learning that you're all invited to do, I helped with that. And that was a part of what I did. So, and honors and so on and so forth. Some of the directors are involved in some of those, and policy committee is pretty much directors, but it doesn't have to be, and so forth. Anybody know what Pioneer Awards is over here on the right? Pioneer Awards?
Innovators. From our.
That's exactly what it is. Yes, but early innovators. Yes. Okay. So people like Bill Walters, Tony Custer. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So an innovator today, maybe, maybe not. You know, we want them to hang around a while and see what all they're going to do and so forth. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Innovators in the hobby. So forth. Okay. Any questions about that? I know. Biggest, no. Committee with the largest number of volunteers, the last one up there, standards and conformists. Andy Zimmerman runs that, and they have, I don't know how many people, but they have many people working in that at different levels of it. And you can imagine all the different things from DCC, LCC, brake cars, track work, electrical, and so on and so on and so forth. And yeah, they're a busy group. 178 divisions. Now, if you go on the website and you count tick, 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 you're going to come up with a bigger number. But look to the right and it's going to say inactive on some of them. So at last count, 178 divisions divided around the world. Oh my goodness. All right. That's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I think it's interesting to me. I think it's useful for you to kind of understand, wow, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. How many paid employees does the NMRA have today? Paid employees. Okay, how many say one? How many say two? How many say three? How many say four? How many say five? Okay, so the correct answer is 4. So occasionally we have a contractor working for us, okay? But right now there are 4 paid employees, 2 full-time salary, 2 full-time hourly. And they're all located in Soddy Daisy, where NMRA headquarters is. Soddy Daisy. I've been there. You know what?
Nice place.
You know what? It's a building in an industrial park. Okay, that's exactly what it is. It ain't nothing fancy. It truly is not. It's about 20-25 minutes from downtown Chattanooga. All right. So that's what I wanted to share with you, just so you kind of have an idea and go, well, there's a lot of moving parts there. There certainly are a lot of them. All right. And that wraps up everything I have on that. And now, sir, we are officially adjourned.